right, Julie, thank you so much for being here today.
You for
I'm
having me.
Yeah, no worries. So I'm really excited. So you wanted to do a soul alignment reading today, and I love these sessions because it really gets at, I'm going to say it's a myriad of things, right? It's current life. We can talk about current life things that are going on, past life things that are going on, and I really leave it up to the spirit team to just relay whatever information is most valuable for you at this time. So just let me know if you have any questions or if there's anywhere you want to go with the reading. Sound good?
Will do, thank you. Yep.
Okay,
That's
fantastic. All right. So let me just tap in to your spiritual team for a moment. And I have to be honest that the first person that I'm seeing as I kind of like hop into your records or ask your spiritual team to step forward is I see an elderly grandmother coming through. So I'm going to describe her. You might have known her in life, you may not, but she is coming through with a cane. So I know that she doesn't walk very well. I do feel like she lives till older life. I know that she's not a very healthy person in terms of her body. And I also know that she passes pretty quickly. I think she's ill, but I do feel like she passes pretty quickly, like, and everyone scrambles, even though they know that she's not well. And her husband would have served some way in some sort of armed forces of some sort, and she would have a son. So, does this resonate with somebody that that would be in the spirit world?
I do have two grandmothers in the spirit world, so I'm not sure.
Which one?
I'm not sure what one you're with. One of them I didn't really know that well.
Okay.
Uh, I'm thinking possibly the other one. I'm thinking.
Okay. So both of them have spouses that would have served and also had sons.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I love it. That's okay. I don't know why, but for some reason she's showing me a house that is almost like a tan brick color on the outside. So I don't know if
Okay.
that resonates with one of them.
I think I know who you're with. Yeah.
Okay. She's very lovely. She's also a huge spitfire in terms of personality. Would that be correct? Okay, because she's got a lot of love, and it's more so like big mama bear love for the family, wanting to be very protective of the family. And she's a very I always screw up this word, but she's very regimented.
Oh,
She's a
sorry.
planner.
Is
Oh, I know the internet connection's a little slow. That's okay. I do feel like she's a bit of a planner. I do feel like she's very regimented. I think everything's very black and white to her, and she has her ducks in a row. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, with this grandmother. So she's coming forward kind of as your guide today to kind of show us around for you, which I know is a little bit different than it's fun because with these soul alignment sessions, you never know if loved ones are going to come through because I just allow whoever is the best messenger to come through. So she is the best messenger today. So there's something about her and her energy. And I do feel like she's a very private person as well. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. She's got a thick shell. She does not let anybody in, is what she's showing me at all. And I do feel like she likes, I don't know why she wants me to keep going this way, but she is a very quiet person as well. I feel like she's very introverted, stays at her house quite a bit. She loves tea. I know that's like a traditional UK thing, right? Like, but she's showing me like how much she loves the tea and the quiet moments. And she led a very peaceful life. Um, and I think that there must be a mirror there with her coming through to present this because I feel like she's the energy that you need at this point. I feel like you need the ultimate goal of wanting that peaceful life and wanting a life that you're happy with and proud of, right? But at the
Yeah.
same time, you want to know what are we going to do to get there?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So let me see where she wants to take us for the session today. Does she talk under her breath quite a bit?
Possibly. Yeah, I think so.
Because and I'm laughing about this because she's as I ask her to show me the way, she's kind of like takes my arm and she this must be a personality thing for her, because she knows that she's going to show me the way, and I can feel that she wants to, but then she's also going to be a pain in the ass about it along the way. Does that make sense with her?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I was only really young when she died, so yeah, I think that would be her though.
Okay, perfect. I think she does truly love you, but I think she's just bringing forward that with personality and making it funny for me, because she's just like, she's reluctantly helping us move forward. But again, she's a very funny woman. I really love her energy. So when she starts, Julie, I'm just going to take a breath here with her energy. And what she shows me, and this must be the perspective from you, is that you kind of see everything. So you tend to have a very big picture perspective. You kind of tend to see everything that you could do, everything that's possible. And you have more of the what down of, I think, what you want to do, but you don't necessarily go down a few levels to see the how do I do it? What's the best way? What's the best path? So you're really, really good at those long-term ideas or the goals, but the short-term execution, not great. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Because I can see that you see the big picture, and I know that you've picked out certain things that you want to do. And like, I know, obviously we chatted a little bit before this. I know that mediumship is one of it, right? Working with spirit guides, working with angels is one of it. And I know also that you want to help people. This isn't just for you to use as this tool set. You truly want to dig deep and help people. But I think that what you find is there's a lack of confidence there. And there's this feeling of not being good enough. Am I meant for this path or not? And I feel like you keep asking for signs over and over again. Is this my path? And you get nothing. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is your path. So I do want to give you confidence that this is your path. I don't want to say that this is destiny. I think there's some people that I meet on these calls that I'm like, I know you need to do this. This is part of your soul's lesson. For
Yeah.
you, I think you just love this work. And
Yeah.
I think that I don't see that you need to do this. I see that you want to do this. And I see that it will be in your life for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. I know there's another job. I'm not going to get there yet, but I see that it's there. So I'm going to write that down, because we're not there yet. So instead, they want to talk about your mediumship, your spiritual path. But what's interesting is you put yourself in a box with the spiritual work. And when I say that, like, you have everything very well defined, everything needs to be a certain way. Do you have rituals before you do readings as well? Do you like do a few things in the same order before you do readings?
I don't do it professionally or anything like that. I'd
Okay.
only do it for like people that I know. But
That's
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Okay. Because they're showing me this like when a batter goes up.
Slow.
Oh, that's a yeah. Okay. They're showing me when a batter goes up to like go bat, like I know it's in American baseball or whatever, baseball, that he does all the things before he goes up to bat. And like that's what I almost feel like you do. And I feel like you have this box of this is what I want it to look like. And it looks the same every single time. Um, and I
Yeah,
feel you trying to expand outside that box a little bit. Like you want different evidence, you want additional evidence. And I know you keep asking for it, but they keep putting you in the box. Is that fair?
yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, I understand that.
So let me just expand on that, just because I think the two of us that are mediums understand that, but maybe the people listening don't understand that, because when I say they put you in a box, like you're asking for different things, but they keep giving you the same types of spirits over and over again, the same evidence over and over again.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, okay, so when am I going to expand? And so let me ask what is going on with that for you? And I want to get into that, and then I want to get into the path for you. So they're showing me a couple different things. Let me see if I'm going to ask them to put it into words for me. Because what I'm feeling is there's this sense of I want more, but then there's also this timidness of once you get more, you don't trust it. Is that fair?
But yeah, definitely. I lack
So,
confidence.
yeah. And I think what you might, I'm going to toss it out this way, and you can tell me if this resonates or not. I think what you may expect is to receive a totally different type of reading. Like everything's different. The type of spirit's different. The type of evidence is different. It's almost like they give you things now, and you want the total opposite of everything that they're giving you. You want them to flip it all around, give you something entirely outside of the box. But instead, what they're doing is taking your existing types of readings and just putting in 2 or 3 new things every reading to say, is it landing? Is it landing? Is it landing?
Yeah.
And this has to do with, Julie, the fact that I know that you want to go from A to Z and you want to skip B through Y. Because you just want to get to this end goal of being this amazing rock star medium that's popular and people book out for months. Like, and I know that ultimately, I think this is what you want to do full time. Is that correct?
Yeah, possibly if I can get my confidence up.
Okay. Because I see that that's your goal when we talk about the big picture. Like, I see that that's your goal, is that you want to have a really big social media presence. You want to be respected. I do see platform work with you. So I don't know if anyone's mentioned that for you as well. No, I do.
It scares me, the thought of that at the moment.
Yep. But I see that that's like, that is the type of medium that you want to be. So you're asking them to get me to there as fast as possible, but that's not how you learn from spirit, because it's not, it's almost like, can you put that into words for me? Like, you take a step forward, but then you're going to take a step back because you have to learn new ways, but then you have to unlearn your very rigid ways. So you're in this really uncomfortable space. I'm going to say it, in your mediumship, just because you're at the stage where you have to undo the stuff that doesn't work for you.
Right.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, there's some stuff that have come up in your reading over and over again, and you're like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
And you can't understand it with your existing way that you read the energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to learn to read the energy differently. So it's not that you need different evidence. This is inner work for you to read the evidence you get differently, using different clairs, using the knowing, and bringing in and using the claircognizance, because that's what is going to get you to the next level.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
Yep. I'm sorry. It's the path of the medium. And it's like you learn everything. It's just like everything else in the world, I guess. It's like having kids too. Like, once you feel like you're in a good spot, something new comes along and you go 10 steps backward and you have to relearn it all again. So that's what they're doing to you. So what this is doing is building a more solid foundation for you, a foundation that is yours, and it's not the foundation your teachers have built for you. And that's why it feels so unstable and uncomfortable. And that's why it's so frustrating, because the stuff that was so clear before makes no sense anymore.
Yeah, I completely understand that. Yeah.
And I just want to give you an example of how this showed up in my life to let you know that you're not alone, because they're showing it to me. When I started, I got relationships like nobody's business. A spirit would step in, relationship every time, 100% right. And this happened for probably 6, 7, 8 months. Every single spirit I could get, the gender, relationship, and then some of the other stuff I was learning. And then all of a sudden one day, relationships were gone. And I got them wrong every single time. So the way that I learned it was not sustainable. It wasn't efficient. It wasn't fast. And I know that seems like a weird thing to say with mediumship, but I was using certain parts of, like, this is going to sound weird probably for everybody else, maybe not for you. When an uncle came in on a certain spot of my body, I knew it was uncle. Like, on a certain spot of my body, I knew it was like niece or nephew. Like, I just knew based on certain feelings at different places in my body, but that's horribly inefficient. Like, I needed to be able to channel the information and just know it was an uncle, instead of having to receive it, figure out where it is in my body, interpret it, and then get it out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm going through a bit of a spot like that, where I was having a long spell of doing really good. I was getting good feedback from people, and then I feel like now I'm going through a spell of just not getting it, and I'm getting into my own head about it, and then you just
Yep.
unravel.
So the more that you work, and this is going to be, you're going to have to practice, but then you're going to have to sit with your team afterwards and be like, what was that? Can we work on that thing I got wrong? What does that look like? So it's more in terms of building your skill set. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah,
Always obviously bounce it off, your mentor or whoever you're working with. And you can even use your practice sitters to help you interpret some of that stuff, but you have the skill set, and what they're doing is laying this brick by brick for you, even though it feels very uncomfortable, even though you're not very accurate at this time, but push through it. And it's almost like that's going to be the next step up for you when it gets, and this is going to be true with all of your mediumship, when it
yeah,
gets bad and it gets like, I don't think I can do this, things aren't accurate anymore. That is them doing something in your energy to bring you up to the next level. So that's where you are right now.
yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
All right. So stick with it. You got this. In terms of your growth, I do see, if you want to start doing this full time, it just takes time to build social media presences and all these things, right? Like it just takes time. So I have to ask, social media, that's where you want to go, right? Like you want to be international?
Not really.
Oh,
I don't really go on social media a lot, to be honest.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, maybe if I was that good at it or that confident at it, but I feel like I'm like bait. I'm a baby at the moment.
Okay. That's okay. So I'm gonna tell you what I'm seeing, to be honest with you, because I see that you aren't going to be able to achieve. So hang on. So before we go there,
Okay.
if you want to do this full time, people need to know you
Yeah,
and need to trust you. And I know that you live in a small community that you necessarily don't want everyone to know what you do. Fair?
yeah.
Okay. So can't do it locally, which is why I keep seeing online.
That makes sense then. Yeah, that makes sense.
um, so there's these big steps, and it's going to take time, but there is,
Yeah,
because you don't want to do this locally. I do see, if you wanted to be in person, you would go like a town or two over, or you travel for it. So I think there is an opportunity for local, for lack of a better word, but I know you're very protective over your family, and like not wanting I'm going to say public scrutiny on your family, if that makes sense. There's just that feeling of wanting to protect your house and keep it quiet. Is that fair?
it is.
Totally,
Yeah,
totally normal. Totally normal. um so I do see you going like a town or two over to do some of the work that you do, if you wanted to do it in person. And I see like little stores or little, that you
yeah,
could potentially go in and do some events. But I do see you more so in the online space because of that. And I know that this is a process of like just setting up social media and talking about what you do. And people love the journey. People
yeah,
love the journey of, I'm learning this. This is really difficult. And I would try, I love you in the best way, but I know you're not a salesperson, and I know you look at social media and like they're all selling all the time. I'm not built for that, right?
yeah.
But you
Definitely.
don't have to be. You could be your own version of social media, and just talking about practice sessions you do, and talking about the types of, things you're learning. And I think for that, like starting there would be a really good starting point for you, social media, because it's it's small, it's authentic, you're not trying to sell anything yet, you don't have clients
Yeah,
yet, right? So like starting there, just to start getting to people to know you and start trusting you a little bit, and then creating that following when you start seeing people say, oh my gosh, I would really love a reading from Julie. I would really love a reading from her. And then you can start realizing when the demand comes in from people sending you messages, and you'd be like, okay, so now's the time to start maybe opening a couple appointments, right? And you
yeah,
can let this happen organically through
yeah.
your journey. And I think the beauty here is you have time to do this. But I do see, I get it. I have to be totally honest with you. I do see that. Do you do pet mediumship? Do you love
Uh,
pets?
I've got quite a lot of pets though.
I see that being a big area for you, to be
Okay.
completely honest with you. I think that like there's something so unique and pure about your energy. And I know inside you're laughing about that. And I don't know why you're laughing about that, but there's just something so pure about your energy, and it's just so kind and so loving, and you are the type of energy and person that gives space to people, and you allow people to kind of process what they have to process. So you are actually, an amazing medium, because you're able to approach this work from a very heart-centered perspective.
Yeah.
Which I love that you have heart earrings on today. um no accidents. So I see you, honestly, people just falling in love with your energy and following you because of that. So that's why it's really good to get you out there. And I know that I'm very apprehensive about putting your face on social media. I get it. But just talking about what you do, talking about your readings. But I do see social media is going to be the avenue for you to find your people, find your clients. And I do see that it kind of snowballs from there. I think that you set up social media, you start getting inbox requests, you like set up like a appointment scheduler, and then you can't, and then you're like, oh, well, I should probably build a website. Like it just happens naturally. So
Yeah.
you don't need to build it all at once.
Yeah.
Because I think that's very overwhelming for
Yeah.
you and probably a lot of people as well. But just let it naturally flow for you, and let the universe give you those signs that it's time for that next step, because they'll give you the signs for the next step.
Right.
But yes, I do think pet mediumship for you would be like totally rad, and I think totally up your alley. I have to put that out there. And I'm gonna say it to hopefully kind of prove what I'm saying as well. You connect with people at a whole different level than you connect with animals. Like you connect with animals so much more.
Yeah.
Like, do you have pets that follow you around the house all day?
Yeah, I've got got a dog staring at me at the moment.
Exactly. Um, so if you haven't pulled through pets already, like I would practice with those too.
Okay.
Yeah, you read them
Yeah,
the same.
I have kind of dabbled in it, but I feel like I'm just getting to my head a lot. I just think I'm just making it up.
Well, my dear, that never changes. Unfortunately not. It always feels like you're making it up, but it's just, I mean, because they validate and they say yes. So that is, I think, your steps to get there, to be honest with you. And I think that's probably a few years in the making. I'm going to be honest with you. And again, like, yeah, I'm seeing like 4 to 5 years, just to like get you comfortable, just to get you feeling like this stuff, right? And I don't feel like you're in a huge rush anyway. I feel like
Yeah.
you're just here enjoying the journey, which is absolutely the way
Yeah.
to do it. But I do see like a 4 to 5 in there. For the signs that you're meant to do this, you're not going to receive that. And I know you're not receiving that today. And the reason is because you're already down that path.
Right.
So they've already probably gave you the signs before you started mediumship that you need to do mediumship, right?
They did, yeah. When I first started out, I was getting so many big signs, like really big signs, and they just stopped.
Yes. So they're showing me they gave you these big signs to get going, and now you're on your path. And they're like, why do we need to send her signs? We send, like, she's already there. She's already going. And so let me ask about your job then, because that's where the energy is flowing for a minute. And as soon as I mention your job, Julie, I see that I think on some level love it, but also immediately I get very uncomfortable about it. So you must not like it the way that you used to, or there's something very uncomfortable or friction about that job. Would you understand that?
So I'm a stay-at-home mum, but I
Oh,
also
okay.
I care for I've got one of my children I have to care for because she's got lots of, so
Okay.
it's I do love it, but there's times when I just want to pull my hair out.
Okay. So that's okay. So let me see if I can interpret that based on what you were saying. Cause I felt the love, but I also felt like there's this, like just energy that just doesn't feel good about it. And I think that obviously love your kids, but
Yeah.
you feel like you're meant for more,
It just becomes a lot sometimes.
right?
Yeah, a lot on my shoulders sometimes.
Which is why you need that outlet of
Yeah,
mediumship. Like,
yeah,
okay, so
definitely.
that makes sense. Cause
Definitely.
I feel like you must be in physical pain by the end of the day with the kids.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So that's what I keep feeling then. Cause I feel like you're just worn down, like body, mind, soul at the end of the day with kids. And I got two of them. I understand. Um, I totally get it. So that makes a lot of sense because I feel like as I was kind of tapping in and I couldn't see that you were a stay-at-home mom, but I could feel like that still stays like, and so that makes a lot of sense to me in terms of that. So um I do see what's going to be great about mediumship partnered with being the stay-at-home mom is you're going to be able to adjust and have flexibility in your calendar for whenever you need it. So I do
Yeah.
think this is a great opportunity for you to expand. I do think though that you're a bit of a perfectionist. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I see that you want to put, and we're back to the box again. They're showing me you want to put everything in this box and you want to just do mediumship and nothing else. Is that right?
Um, what do you mean? Like in the whole spiritual thing?
Yeah. So like I get this feeling like you. Let me explain what I'm feeling. I feel like you want to do mediumship, dead stop. Like that's it. Period. But I also see you doing cards for people.
I love card, yeah.
Okay. So there's value in wherever your passion is.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a perfect medium like to wait and open your business, right? Like you can start doing card readings now because I know that you're extremely accurate with your card readings and your friends beg you to do them for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love my card readings. Yeah, again, it's
Okay.
just starting it as a thing is scary.
Okay. So play around with it. Again, like this whole journey is you're not supposed to do anything. It all is whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So if you have the passion, the excitement for it, go forward with it. Like do it, Julie. Like go do it. And if you love the cards right now, then do the cards. And
Definitely.
you're going to be really good at it. And people are going to like more so. I see locally, like people hiring you to do like tarot readings at houses, like for groups.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And that would be really fun. And I think you would really like that. And you'd love getting out of the house and having a fun night with, all the friends, all the ladies. And I do see that with you. So I think there's so many different things that you can do with that.
Amazing.
So my challenge to you and your spirits team challenge to you, and I say it's theirs. Their challenge to you is to stop putting yourself inside a box and just go where it feels best.
Yeah.
Okay. But you
Yeah.
don't, and I say that because I think that you emulate the people like your teachers that you're around.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Because I think you look to them to see what good looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. But they're good at what they're good at, and you're going to be good at different things than them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So play around with it. Less structure, less rigidity, which I find it ironic that your grandmother is the structured, rigid grandmother is the one that came in to say less structure, less rigidity, more flow, and just do what feels right and do what feels good for you and stop thinking. I see that there's this heaviness feeling of kind of wanting to do all this work and seeing how much work it is on top of your day to day, you know, mom activities and everything else that you're doing. Just go with what feels good. There doesn't
Yeah.
need to be a specific path or to-dos for you. And when you're just in that flow state, you're gonna know what you feel like and you're gonna know what you don't feel like and just go with it. Just roll with it. And it's
Yeah.
work out.
Yeah.
But you don't like doing nothing. I feel like you do things all day and I'm hearing the word lazy in my head. So I know when you take that time for you to rest, you call yourself lazy.
Yeah. I don't get a lot done.
So um the rest is really important for you.
Yeah.
Really important for you. Bed and sleep is super important for you and your energy. You need a lot of sleep. So in the short term, I do see you just like fitting in readings, practice or paid. That's your choice. Just in the middle of your day. Like, I have a free hour. Let me just toss some cards out. I'll toss it on social media. I'll see how that works. Like, and just play around with what feels good. And then, but you definitely need rest. Your body needs rest, especially at this time, because if you don't rest, you're going to get ill. And I feel like you just keep getting sick over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like the hierarchy of needs. Focus on the bottom, focus on the sleep, focus on eating healthy, taking care of your body. And then when the time allows, bring it up a level. It will not always be like this, which is why I think I see the 4 to 5 years. It won't always be like this, but just take your time. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and you're going to be able to get to where you want to go.
Great.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know. Can you see a move for me? I don't know if you can see things like that, but can you see a move?
I do. I think I do. Hang on 1 second. Let me just see if they can give me anything that's more specific. I think you have a few paths. I do see that you want to move, and I do see that you want a bigger space and I don't know why I want to say that, like more accessible space. I don't know why I want to say it that way. But I know you've been looking and you haven't found what you've been looking for. And it just nothing fits right.
Yeah.
I do see a move, but I also don't feel like you're looking in a specific area. Does that make sense? Like, I see it could be in potentially different spaces, different areas of location.
Yeah, it's like it's a county, but we don't know what part of the county. We're just trying to move. But again, it's just everything in my life is quite stagnant at the moment. Nothing's moving along.
Okay.
Stuck.
I see you moving north of you, if that makes sense. I don't know if you've been in the county, meaning looking north of you.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. But I feel like I feel like there's 3 towns next to each other that you're looking at. Does that make sense? Because I feel like there's 3 paths. Sorry.
Okay.
Does that make sense with the 3 towns on top of you? Like, I feel like you're looking at 3 towns north of you.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what it looks like to me. I feel like the one to the northeast of you, I think that's where you want to go, but I feel like it's more expensive, or there's something about that town.
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Because I feel like you want to go there, but you're waiting for a good deal.
Yes, that is, yeah. There is a house. So there's a house that we saw, but it's too much, and we're waiting for it to be dropped because it's been up for sale for some time now. So.
Okay, so that makes sense. So I know if that price raises, you're gonna scoop it right up. Or sorry, if that price lowers, you're gonna scoop it up. Like, I know that.
Yeah.
I think there's a high probability of that happening. I don't like to give definites, but I do see there's a high, especially as we move into the winter. I feel like you will know in the next few months.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see if there's anything else. But I also know that you are just stuck on making sure it's the right place. So the stagnant is good for now. And then you're going to know, just like this house that you're in now, you knew this was your house. Like, you're going to know, like, it's that house. So trust your gut, trust your intuition that it's the right place to go for it. And pull a card on it. I'm hearing them say, pull a card on it. Yep. Okay. About that decision. Let me see if there's anything else they wanted to cover with you today. They would like you to be more bold in your mediumship and just saying exactly what you get, even when you don't understand it.
Completely get that.
Okay. They do. There's puzzles, and I know there's a better word for that, but the things that you're saying don't make sense. But once you say them, and you start seeing the themes across readings, it's all going to come together and make sense. And it's like those puzzle pieces are going to come together. So just trust that this is part of the learning process for you, and just say it. I do know, do you get headaches a lot? What's with the head feeling I'm getting?
Yeah, I do get headaches. Yeah.
Okay. That's stress. That's stress related. Your headache is your indicator that I need rest. So,
Yeah.
yep. But you get them really bad. Like, I feel like you need to sit in a dark room when you get them.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that is your body letting you know I need rest. Okay. So don't be afraid. And I know you don't like asking for help either at all.
Yeah.
Ask for help. People are there and wanting to help you. So even if it's family that's nearby, and be like, hey, can you come over? Like, for an hour a week, we can maybe plan, Fridays at 2 or Fridays at 1. And can you just come over for like an hour or two so that I can just have a little bit of me time? Because I know that everything falls on you in the family. So
Yeah.
asking for help, and you don't even need a lot of time, but you just need those short breaks.
Yeah.
Get back to you. There's one more thing. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. I was like, give me a nice way to say that. I'm sorry, that took a while to get there. There were many other words that just went through my mind, and I'm like, something nice, please. Make sure you're using your voice to speak up for yourself when you do need help. Both externally with people that you know are friendly and know the situation and are willing to help and come over, but also like with your husband and with your kids. Don't be afraid to speak up and use your voice and ask for more, because I have to be honest with you, they're kind of walking all over you. So you need to make sure that you're practicing it small with your family, and just asking for more help, asking for people to do things a little bit more, and stop just doing it because it's easier, because they need to learn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that I've recently had a conversation with my husband about this, so about family, and yeah, yeah.
Okay. Good. I'm glad. That's exactly where I saw it in my head, but I said, you need to give me something nice. Let's go around it first. Okay. Is there anything else I can answer for you, Julie?
I don't think so. I think you kind of nailed it. Yeah, I think with my mediumship, like I do struggle with my confidence, and yeah, I do need to just listen and like learn, and I understand where you're kind of coming from. I think I needed to hear that, what you were saying. So
Are you asking them for really tough evidence, like names and stuff? Your team?
I've been asking, so not so much names, but I've been
Okay.
asking for like medical, not medical, because I know you're not allowed to say that, but how they like how they passed, and I'm just not getting it.
Okay.
I feel it physically as well, and I'm not getting it right.
Okay. So this is something I teach my students. I teach them. So I take a lot of classes just because everything always gives me different perspectives. So one of the classes that I took, and that's a long story, but I took a psychic investigation class. I thought it was finding lost rings. I didn't think it would be cold cases, and I don't like horror movies. So I'm not a cold paper. It was the worst class I've ever been in, but I learned a lot of stuff about it. And the things that I learned about it is, when you're tuning into how someone dies, they use the term SAMI. So it's an acronym. So they'll do S for suicide, A for accident, M for murder, I for illness, E for elderly.
Okay.
So ask your team, because I think it's so hard just jumping into how did you die?
Yeah.
They now, this is the most insensitive podcast. So instead, I have my team show me the letters of Sammy.
Okay.
So I'll see an I, and then I'll feel it on my body somewhere, and I'll
Okay.
know it's an illness in the lungs.
Okay.
Or I'll get this feeling of illness, and I get this view of it was a long duration illness that eventually passed them out. Or I might see it's an illness, but it's really sudden. So without having the A versus the I, the accident versus the illness, if I see that someone passes suddenly, my brain is automatically going to go to car accident because like that's just what we know. Like that's the
Yeah.
number one cause of death or whatever. You know, it's up there. It's not number one, but it's up there, right? And it's the most dramatic. And like we do want the drama a little bit. So when you start with those letters and then you go into it under that, that's going to help you hone in on okay, so now, and you can ask them to do the open door, the round, what's it called? The rotating door. Like, okay, give me spirits, give me how you pass, give me how you pass. And start at the Sammy level. And then when you get to like illness, be like, okay, I just want a whole bunch of people that have illnesses. Show me what cancer feels like or looks like. Show me what heart attack feels like or looks like. And then I'm a total data nerd. So what I do is I literally go look up statistics on what's the most popular ways people die. I do. I honest to God do. And then I go through the top 20 and I'm like, show me these.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good though. It's good.
Yeah. But I mean, you can use statistics and data.
Yeah.
Because most people are going to die from a very few number of things. Like most people I freaking pull through are lung or heart. Most people.
Yeah.
Or they're elderly and they die in their sleep or they die of old age. So get a little creative in terms of like your Google searches and as research, and then ask them to bring in spirits to show you what those would look or feel like.
Oh, thank you. That's really good advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not heard of Sammy, but that's actually makes sense. Yeah, I'll do that.
Right. But it gives you the category, and you're a bit, and I'm a big picture person too. You're a big picture person. So if you can so I would think about that with your mediumship. If you can get the top level, the big picture of what you're doing, then
Yeah.
go down, it's going to be easier for you versus trying to get the detail and going up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. That's really good. I'll write that down. So I'm gonna do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, well, thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for your time today, Julie. It's been an
Oh,
absolute
thank you so
pleasure.
much. It's been really good. It's really good. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. And then I'm always around if you have questions. All right. Take care.
So my reading with Nicole was really good. She got me spot on. Everything she said about my mediumship journey, and how I like to fit everything in a box, that it makes so much sense. My confidence isn't great, and uh, yeah, she's given me some real good insights and advice really of how I need to sit with things and what I need to do to progress myself. So yeah, really spot on. She also got my grandmother in, which was lovely, and her personality. And I always thought that it would be her that would be my spirit guide. So yeah, really good. She's just lovely. She's just lovely to speak to, Nicole, and I'd recommend it to everyone. So yeah, really good. Thank you.